everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I'm doing a renovation of the 10-minute build I did about 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, it's kind of taken me a little bit of time to get back around to this, but I finally did. So if you're interested in this build, you can download it off the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. So this build is still a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and it's still on a 20 by 15 lot, but now it is about 47,000 simoleons, so it's definitely increased in price. And it took me about an hour to hour 40 minutes to redo this house. And the exterior ended up being very similar to how it was at the beginning, mostly because I found it really hard to try and add anything onto the sides. It just didn't look right to me, so I managed to expand the house a bit. But other than that, it really, and I changed some of the windows. Other than that, it really didn't change, and I'm kind of okay with that. Part of me renovating this is I didn't want to completely scrap it. I really wanted it to retain the character that it had. I just wanted it to look better. Pretty much. But yeah, I kind of waffle back and forth on whether or not I like this house. I do and I don't. I don't know. Because I didn't want to really change the shape, it did make this house a lot more difficult in a way, just because, usually I kind of confirm the shape I want before I continue building, and in this case the shape was kind of already set. But I kind of even kept the same sort of color scheme throughout the house. It had those blue floors and the white walls, so I changed the wall type, the wallpaper. The blue floors stayed the same though, but yeah. So I ended up putting that door there to that bathroom, which doesn't really make any sense because then it's still a 2x2 bathroom, so it's really tight. But I tested it and it worked, but I felt a little silly because I had already set my mind on the kitchen furniture or furnishings before I realized this bathroom is too tiny. Where the door to the bathroom is, I wanted to actually put a toilet. And that would give you more room in the bathroom. I like to do that sometimes, but I did not think ahead this time. I really didn't. I mean, the door changes position a little bit, but it's still the same thing. But yeah, here I'm trying to figure out the window situation, and it was a little bit difficult just because the house has some very flat walls. I found that the bigger a flat surface of a building is, the harder it is to make the windows look good, at least for me. I like to make my builds so that there aren't really long stretches of just completely flat wall, and so then that kind of makes it easier to designate, oh, this this little outcropping is gonna get a window, easy. But not in this case, so I kind of had to stretch it. But anyways, so this living room is super adorable and it all works. You can get books from the bookshelf, and I really like that. I didn't want a coffee table per se, or not a coffee table, a end table, that's the word, just because I wanted it to be a little bit more fun, and so I really like putting in that bookcase. But yeah, this you can see where that pillar is, and I did some of the coloring, but that pillar is really awkward, and I ended up putting a little bit of a wall there just to kind of separate the two spaces, and also because I wanted to use that tile in the kitchen, at least part of the kitchen, or I don't even know, but anyways, I wanted it to be different from the living room, so I needed a divide, and so I put that wall there, and I think it actually worked out pretty well. I was pleasantly surprised that it looked okay. And it actually kind of reminds me of my childhood home, except we took that wall out. But we used to have a couple walls like that in our house, and they didn't make any sense in that case, and so we took them out and the house looked a lot better. But I don't know if that, I feel like I've dug myself into a hole now by saying I don't like that wall. Oh my goodness, at least this commentary isn't as panicked as the 10-minute build was. Also, by the way, if you haven't seen that, you should definitely go check it out so you know what I'm talking about, like, at all. But yeah, basically I built the foundation, like the original of this house, in 10 minutes, and I was a complete and utter wreck and in total panic. But I actually am pretty impressed with myself. But yeah, lately I've really liked putting beds on diagonal, and even like that totally like is not, what's the word? It's not convenient, it's not, the word isn't sensible, it's practical. There, I think that's it. I think that's what I was going for. Even though it's not really practical for the bed to take up that much space, I just really think it adds this fun sort of twist to a room, you know, so it's not just exactly what you'd expect from a bedroom. But yeah, so here I did change that door just because I wanted to put this little desk here because I realized that I didn't have a computer desk, and this is where the one tile desk comes in handy, so much so, like, it is, I love that thing. I wish that maybe we had gotten one more in a different style, but I love that thing. And as we all know, I'm a negative Nancy. But yeah, speaking of negative Nancys, it reminded me, toddlers, we have those now. It's really exciting. I already did a video on my first impressions, where I was a little bit of a negative Nancy, and I got a bit called out in the comments, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, but anyways, I really like The Sims, and so I critique it. That's what I do. But yeah, so I am really excited that we got the toddlers. This definitely wouldn't be a toddler-friendly house. There's like no room for anything else. And it's definitely not a starter. I've been doing these homes lately that are small, and so they'd be like the size of a starter, but they're not a starter. And so I've actually been really wanting to do a starter home. And I think there was one build I did, I forget even what it was, where I tried to make it a starter home, and then I can't. It's really hard. I love my clutter, and the clutter is ridiculously expensive in game, and so I really do want to do a starter home soon, though, just because not everybody wants to start off the game with cheats, and to have this house you would need to do that. It's like twice as expensive, a little over twice expensive than you'd have when starting out the game, especially if you only have 1 or 2 Sims. But yeah, I actually, I do have a house coming up that is, has more bedrooms, it's bigger, and it's toddler themed in a way, you know, to celebrate the toddlers. But yeah, that's not this house. But yeah, I really love this lamp. I've been like using it a lot lately. It's so adorable. But yeah, I feel like I don't have a huge amount to say about this house, just because it's pretty straightforward. I basically just tried to keep the spirit of the 10-minute build in there, and I think I did a pretty good job. Like, you know, the basic layout is still the same, you know, we've still got the same sort of color scheme, but I love this bed. I love how it's on a I already talked about that, but that's okay. But yeah, I used those 2 paintings twice, which I don't usually do, but I thought it looked good. What I really wanted was for that to have a painting that went with it. I thought that would have looked really cute to have 2 different paintings of the similar style there, but instead I just sort of compromised and threw them both there. But yeah, so now I'm sort of doing some of the outdoor spaces, and they're pretty simple. You know, lots of potted plants. I've been going a bit like plant crazy lately, and so yeah, I really like the plants, and those definitely up the price. Like, oh my goodness, if I made a house without any plants, it would probably be so inexpensive. Like, it's crazy. But these spaces are really simple, and there isn't really much to the backyard. I just kind of added a tree with a little bench underneath it, and you have the little bird feeder. And so, I don't know, what comes to my mind when I think of this house is quaint. I think it's really quaint. But now I'm about to start into the, landscaping, and I had a lot of fun with this. I mostly just kind of went, well, I didn't really go crazy, but, you know, I had fun, so I guess that was crazy. I don't know. Oh my goodness. This is like the shortest voiceover I've done in a while, and I still feel like I have like hardly anything to say. Trying to think of something from a real life story. No, I'm really boring today, apparently. Okay, I thought of a story. I paused for a bit because I was like, this is getting negative really fast. And now I have to cough. But I thought of a fun little story of me as a toddler. So for one of my birthdays, when I was like probably 2 or 3, my mom went to a tea house to celebrate my birthday with her work friends. And so it obviously wasn't really a party for me. It was for her, you know, and a lot of parents who have young children do that, and that's totally chill. But they put a whole bunch of chocolate-covered strawberries in front of me, and I sucked the chocolate off of every single strawberry, and apparently I had chocolate just all over my face, and like they didn't notice until like I was done. And so they were all just these like weird, like soggy strawberries left over. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little story. But we are coming up towards the end of the build and towards the screenshots. I hope that you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to give me a like, a comment, or subscribe, especially if you'd like to be notified as to when my next build is. I will be doing some toddlers' bedrooms, so those are going to be really cute and really exciting. But yeah, I hope that you guys are all having a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!